The only thing that is permanent in life is change. Therefore, change is desirable. However, if there's anytime there's any change, we should be aware that a lot of things will have to come into play. It is not limited to change in office, change in personalities, but also includes the way we do things. The way we do things in Nigeria, that is why one of the things that we have not been having desired results. Every time that we have a change in government, there are a lot of expectations from Nigerians. Why are we not achieving this? It is simply because we are only focusing on who should be the head of this parastatal, the head of this agency. It should be further than that. What we should be looking at is changing our orientation, a meaningful way of thinking in a positive way. If there's any change in any office like the CBN, the agenda should be how do you make CBN to be functional, to be responsible in changing the value and the expectations that Nigerians have on our currency. Changing our orientation is very important, which we have been neglecting, and that is why we are not getting our desired result.
Brief history of how Igbo cinema emerged within the broader Nollywood industry.
Okay, Igbo cinema has been a concept I've had for the past 5 years. So what happened was 2021 we attempted, but then it wasn't looking so bright. We had to go back to the drawing board. Then sometime last year, I reached out to the president of a association of Igbo filmmakers, that's Director John Paul Wanganga, and told him there's a need for us to come up with something that pertains the Igbo people. You know, out there, the Igbo people, they are being underreported, underdeveloped, and underrepresented in the media space and the filmmaking industry, the Nollywood industry. So he said it's a good idea, and we reached out to Chief Ambassador Pete, who is the chairman of Igbo Cinema. We told him, Daddy, see what we have. How do we go about it? He gave us advice, and okay, we were able to come up with something. We reached out to late Chief Iwanya, who that just died a few weeks ago. We met him, and he welcomed us with an open arm. I was like, okay, this is good. We partner with you, and we were saddled with the responsibility of promoting the Igbo culture and language. On 10th of February 2024, we had a grand unveiling, what we call the unveiling of Igbo cinema, and we had in attendance the Nollywood Igbo veterans, the likes of Ambassador Peter Edochie was there, Barrister Kanayo Okanayo was there, Chief Person Sozokwo, Chacha Eke. What we did was we made sure that we selected 2 actors from each state in the southeast to represent their states, different states in the unveiling. And we unveiled 13 titles that day, ranging from our first project will kick off 2025, that's next year. Will be one day. We'll have Ojadili, and we'll have the story of Obanje, the story of Ohu, the story of Osu, you know, all these things. Ambassador Piche Doche told me something. The Ojadili story, he said he heard it first when he was in primary 4. So Peter Edochie is 77 years, and he heard Ojadili when he was in primary school. I also heard the Ojadili story when I was in primary school as well. I can't remember the stage I was there.
Okay.
Now, the reason we created Igbo cinema is because now I see our generation as the last generation, the custodian of culture. The upcoming generation, they are so into the new age, the social media era. The old phase is passing away. If we don't tell these stories, this is the reason for Igbo cinema. If we don't tell these stories, nobody will. And the best way to preserve culture and language is through media and filmmaking. If you make a very good content representing Igbo culture, it's going to last for 100 years, at least 200 years, if we preserve it well. So this is the short summary of how Igbo cinema came.
So,
into light.
what's the relevance of the stories? You mentioned Ojadili, you know. I may know the relevance, Joshua may know the relevance, but for the public, what's the relevance of such stories like Ojadili and the rest, the likes that you mentioned?
Okay, now, I was having a conversation with one of our sponsors in the United Kingdom. That was few days ago. Not that I was not in the United Kingdom. He came over to Nigeria, and he was telling me the history of Alexander the Great. He was Alexander the Greek. He told me a lot about him. Then he told me that history was carved from the word history. Now, I had to check it out. It was not totally true, but then, if you look at it from our own angle, you see that history is also his story. His story. If you don't tell your stories, someone else will tell it. Now, I was also in a film festival in ENUGU. That was a few months ago, hosted by Uche Abo, DGN. There was this panel discussion they had that I found very interesting. Commercialization of culture. Now, other tribes, they're commercializing their culture. There are some things we don't know. As I'm sitting here, now, as a Igbo, if you are to start speaking Igbo, there's no how I will speak Igbo without mixing it up with English. You get? Now, your question is the relevance. Now, the relevance is, first of all, we have to know our roots. Now, telling the story of Ojadili, we have to bring out something that is fantastic out there. Now, Ojadili is using Ojadili as a case study because we have other titles. Using Ojadili as a case study. Now, Ojadili is a war story.
Is it a true story?
No. It's not a true story. But then, telling this story is a myth. Telling this story now, you carry along our traditions in the movie. Now, we have where there is traditional marriage. Now, we are showing the world that this is how we marry in Igbo land. While we are showing the world, we are also trying to remind our people here that are going astray, that are going off, that this is how we marry. It's just like what I've been talking about. Now, an Igbo person doing traditional marriage, you don't wear another person's attire. I'm being careful enough not to mention specific tribes. Now, we have our regalia. This is how we dress if you want to marry traditionally. Now, you will never see an Hausa person. You will never see a Yoruba person. Let me not say never, hardly. You hardly see a Yoruba or an Hausa person wearing Ishago while getting married.
Okay. Because I wanted to say that I saw the former president of Nigeria, Buhari, wearing
that one is a political.
Yes.
Yes. So you know when you're contesting for a position, you have to represent. You have to show that okay, you are a leader for all.
Yes.
So you will not see them. But you see our people, they will be wearing a, we'll call it, growing up, we'll call it 1,500 to marry in an Igbo land. No. So the reason for this, okay, the relevance is, we'll remind you, okay, this is a traditional marriage scene. This is how we marry. Then we'll show farming season. This is how we plant. The yam you eat, most of us, we don't know how yam came, how they plant yam. Because growing up, it was, I think it's not up to 10 years that I found out, okay, yam, you cut it in sizes, then place it on top, then this is how yam germinates. Then we'll plant yam, then we'll fight. In villages, there are people who call rainmakers. People don't know that there are people that make rain. And when you say, okay, this guy makes rain, you think, oh, this person is just telling stories, you get. So we're trying to, in as much as we are trying to make people feel comfortable watching these things, we're trying to remind them with one or two things. Okay, Jadli, we also have wrestling scenes. Something happened. There was an event. I think it happened twice in Ebonyi last year. Put up together the strongest man in a certain local government in Ebonyi State. People came out. I've never been in such atmosphere before. People were happy. See men fighting. Okay, the grand prize was 1 million naira. Now, it may not be about the money, but people were electrified. They were excited. Wow, this thing happens. You rarely see, you can't see such events again. So we want to put these things together and remind people, okay, this is who we are. This is our identity. Identity is the main reason for Igbo cinema. This is who we are.
Okay, all right. So, what is going to be the clear difference between the Igbo cinema and the Nollywood as we have it?
Okay, the simple answer to that is quality. Yes, quality, because we are reaching out. We are reaching out to both Southeast state government and private individuals, multinational Igbo companies. That's how we want to do our things. Now, Igbo cinema, the difference is there is this popular Igbo TV. I won't mention name as well. When you go to this station, you will see Igbo content. They just do it as though this is comedy. They're just doing things aimlessly. Nothing is really going on. Mama and Papa, this is, hey, I want to marry you. Did you just love me? Hey, playing around. No aim, no nothing. And the reason why this thing is happening is because we Igbos, we don't take this thing serious. Okay? We have interesting stories. Now, we're not trying to compete. We're trying to represent. The Yorubas, I respect what they do. They embraced art. And what we don't know is that there's money in art. That's why Lagos is the center of everything. Now, the difference is quality, like I said. The movies we want to make is not for the local channels, even though we'll still find ways to push it through the stream so that everybody will get. We'll make sure that, because the budget we have for promotion is almost as big as the project itself, because we understand the promotion aspect.
I was about to ask, it's going to be on Netflix.
Yes, I was about getting to that
please.
thing. Now, we also have plans to travel to Netflix headquarters, not in Nigeria, to discuss with them. Now, the term of discussion is co-commissioning. Are you co-commissioning with commissioning the project, or send your supervisory team to monitor this and we'll make it Netflix original? Because when you get to the Netflix platform, you hardly see Igbo stories. Now, there are a lot of movies out there, the likes of Jago Jago and Oba Eleshin, that's Yoruba, this thing. Now, I learnt few things from Jago Jago because I was interested. It was a love and action and emotional story. But then the way they were speaking Yoruba, subtitle. So I was listening to their Yoruba and I was watching the subtitle. This is what we want to achieve with Igbo cinema as well. Speak Igbo. then subtitle it. You get the quality. This is where the likes of Netflix and Prime Video comes up. We're also looking to travel to France, Cannes. That's they call it Film City. So we'll get more international markets. But then we're not forgetting the local market here, where the Igbo people are dominant. So when we talk about quality, now if you want to shoot for these big platforms I just mentioned now, there are some things you have to consider. The picture quality, the sound, the story. It's very important. And I think these are the three basic things. If you're able to get this thing, Netflix has made it easy. Let me use Netflix as an example. I've been to conventions and conferences when Netflix, they came live. That was in Lagos. And they've told us that this is how you do it, this is how you do it. So if you make a movie and Netflix doesn't buy, you know that you're the problem. Because they have their range of cameras. This is what we need. Use this camera. That's one. This is the type of movie we shoot. This is how we direct our shots, and this is this. Possibly get a director or a producer that worked for them before. Then they will help you and get to where you are. So the answer to your question is quality. We want to deliver a quality job.
Before we go on, we're going to play a short clip of the unveiling of the Igbo cinema. Okay. Just stay tuned as we show you. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. I've said this before. I need to learn Igbo, and I am going to learn how to speak Igbo. Please take us through what we just watched. You said, where was that held?
Okay, that was held at a community center in Ebonyi State, and I'll also use this opportunity to thank the governor of Ebonyi State, Right Honorable Builder Francis Nwifuru. He helped us to host that massive event that I just watched, and he has the Igbo spirit in him. He, after the unveiling, we had a courtesy call with him, and he tasked us on reaching out to all the Igbo governors, the need to represent the Igbo culture and language up there.
Okay. In terms of addressing contemporary issues, how has storytelling in Igbo cinema evolved over the years?
Okay, now my response is actually going to be, you know, there's actually been an argument on who started Nollywood, and it got intense. That was 3 years ago. They said, oh, it's Yoruba, oh, it's Igbo, oh, it's Yoruba, oh, it's Igbo. And Pete Edochie was able to put me through that, okay, see what happened. We started this, and Yorubas came in through, I've forgotten his name. And now, because the Yoruba have this love for art, they took it up. But there is always a difference when the Igbo people steps in, because they are unique in everything they do. If you check our old, the movies done in 1980s, 90s, the Igbo stories, movies like there is Living in Bondage, there is Rattlesnake, the one that was remade by the Play Network, and there is Taboo. That was the first movie Kenneth Okonkwo featured in. You see that the stories, if you go back to these stories, they are still impactful.
Well, is it not breaking? Is it not still working in ways to break
now, let me use
Nollywood or break Nigeria?
Let me use Afamefuna as an instance. Afamefuna is a good work of art. Now, it took the global stage, and it is still trending. If you ask, okay, what Igbo story is out there, Afamefuna is the best for now, and the most recent.
Okay.
Okay.
No, please go on.
Okay, and the most recent you get. Now, Afamefuna is the one boy story. Now, the question he asks is, how has the Igbo storytelling fared, in summary? Now, you see, Afamefuna is just one out of millions, the one boy story. Now, it was able to tell the people that this is our culture. One boy is a culture. It's not just a norm.
Okay.
It is not. I don't know. I'm lacking the right word, but it is our tradition. Only Igbos go through that system. I heard, unconfirmed, even though I read it, that in Harvard, that they are studying the one boy system of Igbo people. That's to show how important it is.
Okay.
Do you get? So, using Afamefuna as a case study, it is a breakthrough to show that, okay, if we do more of this, it is actually going to change the narrative.
Okay.
Yes.
So you did mention about Netflix, and I think maybe my last question will be concerning Netflix. How there are speculations that most movies that are Netflix original have one way or the other that they promote LGBTQ, whatever. Is the Igbo cinema also ready to submit to such proposal?
In answering this question, when you say LGBT, whatever, now the story we are telling, I do tell people, growing up, we didn't notice anything like this growing up. I was born in the 90s, late 90s, you get. There was no issues like LGBT, man, woman, stuff like that.
Yes.
You get that. This is how we grew up.
Yes.
So the time your father told you about Ojadili, there was nothing like that. These stories now, it's just like telling, and Ojadili is 1700, that era. We go straight to the business. LGBT and the rest, these things are distractions. So you tell the story according to what was in existence then. And you say, and now let me say something again. there were speculations that Netflix is going off Nigeria, and the speculation was strong. Now, why is it going off? Because we, the Nollywood, let me not talk about Igbo cinema, Nollywood in general, need to step up. And it is projects like this that will make it to step up. Now, Netflix is a business platform. Now, let me tell you the advantage Igbo cinema offers to Netflix. Igbo subscribers. This project is capable of giving Netflix 20,000 new subscribers. So when they press the number, because you know what we do, such project is born out of sentiment, a good one. There's this brand that said Nka Bonkai, you know, this is our own. As an Igbo person, oh, okay, they are making our stories, wow, let me watch this. And if we are to go to the cinemas to patronize our core indigenous stories, it is not a bad thing. I heard that there is the biggest cinema in the world is in ENUGU by an Igbo person. These are the type of contents we encourage, because ENUGU is one of the biggest cities in Igbo land. They call it Japan of Africa. So when they call ENUGU Japan of Africa, that name is not just for this thing. It means they're actually doing something great to have such nickname.
Yeah, I honestly wish time would permit us, because I could see my colleague already have so many things you want to ask,
Okay.
and I have, you know, so many things filming. But I guess we'll keep having this conversation. Maybe invite you again,
Okay.
talk deeply more on Igbo cinema, you know, and be able to highlight some things in it.
Okay.
Well, before we continue, as we make to continue rather, we're going to have entertainment news. You remember it's vital, so go nowhere.
It is time to dig into the world of entertainment with me, your host, Quinsley Rowland, as we uncover all the glitz and glamour and gossip from red carpet moments to exclusive updates. Get ready for the juiciest stories and hottest headlines, all on entertainment news. Netizens have expressed mixed reaction after the popular singer Chike rewarded a troll with 1 million naira after he berated him. It would be remembered that the hard-to-find singer recently gifted a fan 1 million naira following their clash. The fan, it will be recalled, had opined that it was the late singer Mobad that made Chike who he is today. Chike had dismissed the fan as a hungry troll and gifted him 1 million naira. However, netizens have found this to be inappropriate. Some have opined that the singer is motivating hatred while ignoring many fans who might have been praising him in his DM and comment section. Chidima Vanessa Owe Adeshina, a mother of Nigerian and Mozambican heritage who withdrew from the Miss South Africa 2024 contest over scrutiny of her nationality, has announced that she will be participating in the Miss Universe Nigeria 2024 beauty pageant. Adeshina was invited to participate in the Universe Nigeria 2024 beauty pageant after she was stepped down from the Miss South Africa contest despite being a top 11 finalist. She gave up the competition after the South African Department of Home Affairs alleged that her mother may have committed fraud and identity theft. In a new post, Adeshina announced that she has accepted the invitation to participate in the Miss Universe Nigeria 2024 beauty pageant. The band has announced August 16th as the release date for Entertainer 2.0. The band's upcoming fifth album, Entertainer, the sequel, is a follow-up to the classic 2008 album that holds some of the classic songs that rocketed him to superstar status. The band made the announcement in a post that features actor Gideon Okeke and long-term associate and More Hit co-founder Don Jazzy, who made a cameo. For his upcoming album, D'banj has recruited a selection of global stars for his album, including Grammy Award winner Wyclef Jean, Congolese icon Awilo Lokomba, American superstar Akon, South African megastar DJ Maphorisa, amongst others. The entertainer includes collaborations with the Nigerian music stars like Phyno, Timaya, K-Switch, Zlatan, Peruzzi, and lots more. Ahead of the album release, D'banj has released a new single titled Worthy. The single was released on July 19 and it offers listeners a glimpse of what to expect from D'banj's upcoming album. Big Brother Naija No Lose Guard housemate Kelly Ray has disclosed plans to use female colleagues Handy and Anita to distract other contestants. Kelly Ray made this known on Wednesday during his diary session with Biggie, the invincible voice in the house. While expressing his feelings for Anita and Handy, he explained that he wants to pursue a relationship with either Handy or Anita to confuse the house and keep his marriage with Cassia a secret from the other contestants. During the introduction at the launch event, the couple, Kelly Ray and Cassia, said although they are married, they will keep it secret in the house. And that's a wrap for today's entertainment news extravaganza. Stay tuned for more star-studded updates and behind-the-scenes secrets. Don't forget to like, share, and follow us on all of our social media platforms. I am your host, Quincy Rowland. Until next time, keep shining bright like the stars.